Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Estate Circuit, Builders, Brokers, and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, Kim Mashek with Nexa Mortgage. And today I have on the show Kyle Kochenberger with Cover Your Assets LLC. Welcome, Kyle.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I guess tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you become a home inspector.
Sure. So I'm 34 now. I almost forgot. Um, I'm Colorado born and raised. So I grew up on the southern end of Colorado, and then moved up north for college. So been up here ever since. Met my wife up here. Just fell in love with the area. Um, so been here since about 2010. Um, and I have been in maintenance like since before college. Just kind of working that. I've done apartments, the university dorms, hotel maintenance, residential residential homes. So I've seen all kinds of different like home dwellings and like different layouts of the buildings.
Mhm.
And then I was in property management before this, doing like maintenance inspections, mainly cosmetic stuff, like little repairs that we'd be able to do, but also like some of the structural inspections that we'd be looking at. Um, and then in 2020, when me and my wife bought our first house, I was watching the home inspector do it and just kind of go through his list, and I was just like thinking to myself, this is something I can do. Like it's a little more a little more in depth than what I'm currently doing, but I started looking into it then, and then yeah, about 2023, 3 years ago is when I got all my coursework done, got certified, insured, and then started going for it.
Very cool. Well, I know being in the mortgage industry, I know I hear a lot of buyers talking about not getting their inspection because they're going to have an appraisal. What, I mean, obviously, I know you would not recommend that. What is the one of the biggest reasons that a buyer should do it? And what's one thing that a lot of people overlook that may be a huge piece of this?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is having that extra peace of mind when you're buying a house. I mean, if you're skipping that because you are going to save 500-600 bucks, you may miss something in the attic, a joist that's cracked, or the whole roof may need to be replaced, and there's a big leak that comes 6 months down the road, or maybe there's like a foundation issue, and then you got flooding after a heavy rainstorm. These are some things that will be caught on a home inspection, and if you're, I mean, and granted, some people could see that stuff, but you're not looking at every nook and cranny of a house when you're buying. Um, and so things could be missed, or you may just think, I won't look in that corner. That's in the that's in the attic. I'm not gonna go up there. And then there's a leak coming down in your ceiling. So it's good to have that peace of mind of knowing, like, I had a professional in the house who went through the whole thing, looked at everything, and these are the things that they found, or it's ready to go, and we have nothing to worry about for going to the table.
Yeah. No, I totally get that because I know, when it was me, especially looking for my new home, I was so excited to get into a place and, everything looks great when you first walk in, but you don't know what to look for. And like I said, that excitement kind of over you don't even think to look at certain things, I guess. But I know one of the things you were
Yeah.
kind of mentioning as well, and I didn't even think about this, is, getting an inspection before you list a property. So sellers on the flip side can kind of get ahead of things. Like, what do you kind of let them know to kind of be on the lookout for? Or, I mean, I'm sure you kind of look at things the same way, but like, what would you advise on that side?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's going to be the same process as a general inspection for a home buyer, but on the seller side of it, you get ahead, like you said, you get ahead of any major repairs that may be done. Like I said, say you haven't been in the attic of your house for 15 years and don't don't know what to expect.
Right.
Or maybe you're flipping a house, you're working on it, trying to get it ready for a quick sell, but you don't know what to expect coming into it or something like that. It's good to have, again, a professional go through and just give you all the information of what they found, so you're ready for that. So there's not any surprises at the end of the closing.
Yeah. I like I said, I wouldn't have even thought of it happening at that stage in the game, but I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. Um, what's the most unusual or memorable thing you found during an inspection in your time so far?
So far, and so this is another service I offer. I offer radon testing and sewer scope as well. Those are additional services, but on one of the first houses that I did a sewer scope for, um, when I went through the line and eventually got to outside of the property, like in the front yard, it was completely rotted away and dropped down into a pit. So there's just a huge gap between the house and the main line. And what happened was that piping was Orangeburg, which is like really old, cheap material that some piping was used back in like 1800s up to the 1970s. But when it was used, or like it's only got like a 50-year lifespan or something like that. So when you run into stuff like that, it needs to be replaced because it just completely erodes, and then you have a pit in your front yard. So that was definitely probably one of the wildest things that I've seen.
Oh, I can imagine. I know I dealt with a client similarly, and I think a lot of people try to be swayed from doing that just because, a lot of people say, oh, you don't need that. It's fine. But it's those things you don't see. I had a client kind of similar situation, ran into that with cracks in the pipe, and it was before where the city would have to take care of it. And so I think that's a huge piece. I'm sure it's not super glamorous for you to do, but it's
It's not too bad,
what's
but yeah,
what
it's a huge benefit to the buyers, just to have that peace of mind for one. If you go through and see that there's nothing wrong, you don't have anything to worry about for the line, or to know before closing on a house that, hey, there's roots in this in this
right.
drain line in the main line that need to be cleaned out regularly.
Right. And it could be so small that, you wouldn't even know it until you do something like that, but it could cause a huge issue down the road.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Kind of speaking of, I know I kind of mentioned the appraisal piece before, which I know you're not, but I've always wondered this myself, so I'm going to ask it for our viewers. Do you know, like, what do you look at versus what the appraiser looks at? Just to help people understand, you have to get an appraisal, like almost always. I mean, sometimes you don't, but you don't have to get an inspection, and that's why a lot of people choose to not. But like we just have been mentioning, there's a lot of valuable pieces to that. So what do they, as the appraisal, if you know, look at that could be very detrimental to the purchase of a home for somebody, weeks or months down the road?
Right. Yeah, and I don't know exactly what appraisers will all that they cover in their inspections, even though it's not the same type of inspection. But
Sure.
I don't believe that they look at like condition of things. They're not looking at like the structure and like the integrity of like HVAC systems, the roof, the
Right.
plumbing, um, air conditioning, all that stuff. Looking at the electrical box, and maybe they do look at the electrical box, but I know their main focus is like finding the overall value of the property,
Right.
and my main focus is like finding any safety issues, making sure like there's no like major defects, anything like that. Looking at condition of like components of the house.
Right. Yeah, like septic or like the sewer scope and stuff like that. I definitely know they don't check
Mhm.
that stuff or outlets, I don't believe. I was just curious because, you know, I'm not in either one of your worlds. So,
Yeah.
um, how do
Sure.
you,
And I mean,
how,
even, yeah, even outlets, even. even light switches. Like during an inspection, I'll check all the outlets. I'll check all the switches, make sure there's not any like majorly loose ones or something like that.
Right.
And it's that's I don't think that appraisers, and maybe if you get an appraiser on, they can correct me in the future. But yeah, I don't know if they're checking every outlet or every light switch.
I believe you're right, and I don't think they do. I've never seen that on one to that degree, but I mean, for those of you listening, like safety features is huge. I mean, especially if you're moving in with a family and you have young kids or whatever, you don't want things to be defective and or not working when you can get them
Hmm.
potentially fixed before you close on your house, or maybe some money at the end for you to fix it if there is a major issue or
Yeah,
something.
or
So
even like if there's a guardrail, if a guardrail was installed, or maybe like the homeowner put a new guardrail in, but they didn't do the proper height, like that's also something I'll be checking. And like if it's too low, like it could be a safety issue, like someone could fall over it, like a kid could try climbing over it, something like that. So that's also something that I'm looking at and noting.
right, gotcha. How do you help your clients feel comfortable and informed during your inspection? And I guess side note of that, do they typically come with you, or do you usually go do these things on your own, and then just report back?
Yeah, I typically do them alone, and then I'll meet the client at the end. I've had a few that they wanted to either walk it along with me, or maybe they just want to get in there with a tape measure and measure areas for some furniture or something like that. And that's totally fine. Like I don't say no. uh, they're the ones buying the place, so
Sure,
I'm just trying to go through. But I like to have my focus on it, make sure like I'm catching every little thing that I could, and that way I have a full list of what I found for them at the end. But yeah, I'm got a cool, calm demeanor. I don't get upset if someone's wanting to walk around. Maybe they're curious at the process, or they just have a question about something while I'm doing it.
sure.
Yeah, don't have any problem uh, answering those for them.
Perfect. Well, speaking of, how do you find the people that you book? Referrals, I'm sure, but like building confidence with realtors and stuff like that. Like, how do you go about that, and where do you find people, I guess?
Yeah, and like I said, I'm newer to the industry, so I've only been doing it for 3 years. So what I've found is valuable to a lot of people is communication, reliability. I always promise to report or get the report back within 24 hours of being done. So I mean, that's a huge thing because sometimes it's turnarounds. You got a couple days, a week at the most
Yeah,
to get everything to the table. So to have all that information as quickly as possible is huge for realtors and for the buyers. Um, and like I said, communication, just having that open communication, responding quickly to maybe questions that they may have before and after, or just getting getting things scheduled promptly and letting them know like, hey, this is the day we got it going.
yeah, definitely. I mean, and it's
And then yeah,
no, sorry, go ahead.
then just I was just gonna add on, since I am so new, my schedule's wide open, so I'm available for the realtors whenever they need me.
Perfect. Yeah, I definitely know timing can be a huge issue because I've had some files where I've worked on with people that they were a little concerned with certain things. And so I mean, I don't anyways, like to order the appraisal piece until after the inspection's been done in case there happen to be any issues that make the client want to pull out of the deal. It gives plenty of time, and it also saves them money to avoid paying for both things up front. If we can get the inspection done and verify that everything is good and it works for them and it works for us with the loan side, that we can continue and get that appraisal piece ordered. So I think timing is huge, and being able to turn that around fast. So that's great that you can do that. What areas do you tend to service? I know you're in the northern Colorado area, but do you like have certain areas you prefer to stick with, or you kind of go everywhere?
Yeah,
What's your
I mean, I could go all of Colorado. Just depends on travel time, really. But I mean, I've been all the way up to Alt, out east to Greeley, and I've even gone all the way down to like Aurora area. So I mean, I'll go wherever if people may need me. But I usually stick around the northern Colorado area.
Gotcha. Have you ever had somebody like give you their own checklist, I guess? Like if they've been in the property before and they're like, "Hey, we're concerned about this, this or this," like, or do they most people just kind of let you do what you're best at and just have you ever had
Yeah,
that?
I mean, there's been a couple, not with like an actual checklist, but maybe like the first time they toured the place, they had like a couple things in mind that they wanted me to look at. Um, and they were things that I was already like they're already on my list to check. So either I'd already have that information or I was like looking at it. But yeah, never like a full list or anything like that.
I was just curious because I mean I've never done that, but I I have only bought one home, so that was a while ago. Um, is there anything else that you'd like people to know, I guess, about getting a hold of you? Where to find you, I guess, would be important for us to put on here, which I will have it in the description for everyone as well. But like, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you? You have a website, a social, like, what's the best
Yeah.
way?
Yeah, I got a website. It's www.coveryourassetllc.com. You could book with me through there. It sends an email to me. You could also just email me directly at coveryourassetllc@gmail.com.
Okay,
Or even give me a phone call or a text, 719-252-4054.
perfect. Or I'm sure they can find you in the summertime on the volleyball court. I can see you've got your shirt on. He's
I
a great
do.
volleyball player, by the way.
You too, Kim. Yeah,
Oh,
that's how we met.
yep. I can't wait for summer so we can get back outside.
I know, seriously.
Yeah. Um, well, how, let's see, I had another question for you. Now I slipped on it. Do you have anything else that you want to inform people about? Like just timing wise? I mean, I guess you said you're kind of open. I get it because when I was newer, I had all the free time and it's a lot easier to be able to focus on each client versus having to rush to and from. But what is your
Yeah.
turnaround time typically? Like if someone reaches out to you, I'm assuming you probably don't do same day, but maybe what's kind of common there?
That would be tricky. The quickest I've done is usually the next day. Um, just because like if they were wanting radon, I like to get that set up a couple days before because those have to run for 48 hours before you get those results back.
Okay,
So having that time before and then 48 hours run up and then during the inspection I can collect that and have that ready at the same time is nice or convenient just for me. But if there's a quick turnaround and they need the inspection like the next day or in a couple days, yeah, I could usually make that work.
nice. Okay. Um, no, that's good to know. I don't know that I have any other specific questions for you today. Um, if there's anything else you'd like to pitch about yourself or your company. Oh, no, I did have one more question. How did you come up with cover your assets? Because I think it's very catchy.
That was just me and my wife were going over names, like trying to think of some good ones. And I mean that we've heard the phrase CYA. So I I can't remember which one of us. It was probably my wife. She's very creative, but we eventually just said cover your asset, and then it was just like, and then I started looking it up trying to see if they was already picked, and I only found one other home inspection company, but it was out in like North Carolina or something.
Nice.
So as long as I'm just in Colorado, It should be good.
Well,
But
now
yeah,
I'm,
it's just kind of luck of the draw finding it.
that's funny. I like it. But anyway, well, I
I do
won't
get
keep you.
lots of compliments on the name.
It's cute. I won't keep you on here any longer today unless you have anything else you'd like to say. Oh,
It's not related to home inspections, but me and my wife started a podcast.
nice. Well, I can put that in here too so
Yeah,
people
it's
can
a
join.
sure. Yeah, it's for fun. It's a little fun history one. So she doesn't know much about history. So I either tell her a fun history fact or I make up a story, and then she tries to guess whether it's true or not.
Oh,
It's
that's
called
cute.
History Buffs or Bluffs.
That is cute. Well, I can throw that in here too in case anybody would like to come watch that. I'll check it out. All right, Kyle. Well, thank you so much. As I mentioned to everybody, I will have his information below. If there's any realtors out there who would like it, I can connect you. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day and best of luck with your business.
Thanks, Kim.
All right, take
Thanks for
care.
having me.
Bye.
Bye.